What is going on, everybody? AHS Rules back again with another video. And we're here for WWE Elimination Chamber 2024 predictions. The fact that this event will be taking place at like 4 a.m. for me does not really bother me because I have a terrible sleep schedule anyways, so I could adjust to it. So hopefully, if you're watching the event live, you're able to as well. If not, watch it whenever, or don't. I don't tell you what to do. That being said, though, I'm here for my predictions. It's very weird that there are only 4 matches to talk about, but the last premium live event for WWE I did predictions for, there's only 4 matches to talk about then. So, as always, I get these predictions videos out early. Anything that changes prior to this event taking place, I'll try my darndest to comment it in the comments below. That being said, before we do get fully in depth with these predictions, because I haven't talked about WWE in a hot minute, I think this is a good and bad thing, what I'm about to say. But like, WrestleMania is very soon, and it seemed at the very beginning of this year, we could tell a lot that was going to happen at WrestleMania. We're going to see Cody versus Roman, we're going to see CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, we're going to see a lot. And since mainly the Royal Rumble, all of that has gone into chaos and just randomness has been thrown. And so the point I'm trying to make here is that I have a little to no clue what we're going to see at WrestleMania. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. If it's the good is, like I said, it's craziness, it's shock. You don't know what's going to happen next. But it could be bad because it just might be things that what's the best way to put it? Might not want to see. The main thing, and again, this has been a hypothetical that a lot of fans have thrown out, and me, personally, I just don't want to see it. This hypothetical tag match of The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And again, like I said, last month, prior to the Royal Rumble, if you were to ask me, hey, do you see The Rock wrestle at WrestleMania? I would have said no. And then the Royal Rumble happened, and then, like I've said, chaos has constantly been happening. So, like I said, it's a good and a bad thing. Because it's shocking. We don't know what's going to happen next. But it could be terrible because it just might not be things that I would want to see. That being said, though, this event will make things a little bit more clearer. First match to talk about, Women's World Title match, Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. I don't know anybody that wants to see and even thinks that Rhea Ripley is going to lose, so I'm going to predict Rhea Ripley. Next matchup, Undisputed Tag Team Title match, The Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus the New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I only call them that because I saw it on Wikipedia and wrote it down, but any other time I probably would have just called them by their names. And talking about these damn tag team titles, anytime I have picked against the Judgment Day because I do very much want to see new tag team champions, the Judgment Day has retained. So maybe I'm going to do something the complete opposite. I'm going to predict the Judgment Day to retain their tag team titles in this match. I'd rather see new tag team champions is the point I've been made, and I've been wanting to see it for months. So we'll see what happens there. Now we get to the Elimination Chamber matchups. The first one for the women, the right to face the Women's World Champion at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez. Before my prediction, I should have even said this. Thank you to WWE, because this is something that I feel was not that complicated that they have chosen to do, in that with the winners of the Royal Rumble, you're supposed to get a world title match at WrestleMania, and you choose who you want to face. And this year, that has happened. Bayley chose to face Io Sky, and right now, Cody Rhodes has chosen to face Roman Reigns. And so I have always thought and suggested, I think now, last year, this didn't really matter because there was only one men's world championship, but in other years where there's 2, and then they started doing the Women's Chamber, I have always thought, and I'm glad that they're, again, doing it this year, that the Elimination Chamber matchups should be who should face the other world champions at WrestleMania. So to flashback all the way back to 2008, because, again, it's a little bit complicated, but John Cena chose to face Randy Orton in No Way Out. Why? I don't really know. And at that event, the 2 Elimination Chamber matches determined who would face the WWE and World Champions at WrestleMania. And then every year since then, it always gets complicated. Sometimes it's a title match. Sometimes it's the right to face whoever at WrestleMania. I just feel that as long as we have 2 champions and the Royal Rumble exists, which I don't think they'll ever get rid of the Royal Rumble, this is what the Elimination Chamber should be used for. That being said, I am 50-50 on who I could see winning this match between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, because if you go back to the first match, I fully expect Rhea Ripley to retain, and I think that Bianca Belair and or Becky Lynch versus Rhea are high-level WrestleMania matches. And the more complicated thing that I'm, again, overthinking with is I don't know between the 2 that doesn't win this what the hell they would end up doing at WrestleMania. I think that they have teased us too much and talked about Becky versus Rhea too much that I'm just going to predict Becky Lynch to win it. But if I had to choose a runner-up, it will more than likely be Bianca Belair. Now we get to the men's Elimination Chamber match. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. I'm choosing Drew McIntyre. I think he's got a lot of momentum going for him right now. And it's extremely weird that anytime I've talked about Drew McIntyre in a World Championship match, the past, however, I would say almost a year, I'm like, yeah, give him a title run. Now, I'm not on the opposite side, but I don't really want to see Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, because we've already seen this match at least twice, a handful of times. I remember it was the very first Raw of this year that the match took place, and so, I want to see something new and fresh at WrestleMania. But out of the people competing, I think Randy could be a runner-up, and it's been quite a while since we've seen Randy Orton and Seth Rollins take place. But I feel, again, it's very much with the Becky Lynch situation that they've teased and talked about it too much that they're not going to overcomplicate it. So, I know there's the Grayson Waller effect with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. I don't really know how to talk about that in a prediction format, so I just mentioned it here that way I didn't forget it. That being said, I think this will be an extremely interesting and hopefully good show. I think with it being at a different time, I think that it's either going to hurt or help it. I think more than likely hurt it, but it doesn't really matter to me. I'll be back here next week providing more predictions as there's an AEW pay-per-view event, which I will be more opinionated about, if that's the best way to put it, because it's a bit of a teaser. I have not really been feeling the AEW product, but I always follow it up with, I think after Revolution, AEW go balls to the walls. But again, I'll talk more about that next week in my Revolutions predictions video. So thank you for watching this. Like and subscribe. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.